Hello, hello, welcome to Money and Millionaire Mindset podcast. And today we have the guest Vasil Krainov who will share his story and how his mindset and what he does change his life and how he now helping so many people to do the same with their.
Hello,
Hi
welcome
Vasil.
everybody. Yes, hello, Helena. Nice to meet you and greatly to meet you here. I'm really excited to be here and resharing really my story that can potentially help you to understand a lot about yourself, your mindset, and even a lot when it comes down to a lot of different things that we're about to discuss in this podcast. So, I'm Vasil. I'm 27 years old as I'm speaking, and what I really have found for in my journey, I'm not really coming from a wealthy family or anything like that. I'm born and raised in Bulgaria, and what I have discovered in throughout my journey was that my parents really pushed me to study, work hard, and that's what I really simply did in my life. I was what I was really seeing in my environment while I was young was that my father, and obviously um, other family members, they were so used to work hard that they really instilled in my mind that there was no other way. If I don't work hard, then I just cannot simply earn money, right? And that's what I saw, and that really represented in my reality, not later on. And when I really went to university, I got a degree, um, got a good job. I actually didn't even finish the university. I was a bartender slash waiter afterwards. 7 years I was doing that, close to eight. So I was really working in restaurants, nightclubs, just hotels. That was my last job. And what I really started to realize was I was really simply living a life that I didn't really like, because in the end of the day, the standards, even in Bulgaria where I was living, they were not high. So I was really earning around $700 on a monthly basis in my country, which that pretty much used to serve me for the basic needs, but nothing more than that. Apart from savings, apart from vacations, I didn't even move pretty far away from my own town for a vacation. Why? Because the money was not enough, and it was just not enough. And when I really was talking here in my story, that I used to see a lot of my family members work hard, well, that's exactly what I did not later on, as I said, because I was working around 12, 14, and sometimes 15 hours a day, and the salary was not much bigger than what I described to. It's just the working hard mentality that I adopted. I really got into personal development and professional development around a couple of years before that. And I knew that there was really something out there more that I could really be be more, have more, and do more. And probably, if you are really listening to this podcast, you're probably wondering the same. If there is anything more to life rather than maybe the usual way of living, which is we educate ourselves, we work, we call it the 40-40 plan, which is we work 40 hours a week, 40 weeks of the year, and we pretty much retire after 40 years without nothing in our bank accounts, right? So really from there, I started to realize that I really wanted to become somebody different. I always wanted to help people, but I never knew what was the formula for me to achieve that, neither to help somebody else to do that. I came across to some of my mentors at that time. It was in 2021, the year that it really came. And I decided that it was a little bit after the coronavirus, since in Bulgaria, the times were very tough at that time. And I was being laid off. Then later I got back to work. I was laid off and getting back. And I was really being pissed off by that because I was simply having no much money or any money at all. And through through the personal development and all of those things that I really came across in my life through the different books, I certainly got connected with a person through social media. And one day I was pretty open to hear what they have to say, which I really ended up on a Zoom call. And I pretty much started my career at that time without knowing what my career was. And I said yes to that point, right? And I'm pretty sure that if you're even listening to this and you're saying, well, how could you even get started in your career without knowing even the name of it? Well, that's correct. That's what I did. And you know why? Why I did it? Because I was hungry for an opportunity. I was hungry for me to create something really more out of the usual way of doing, right? So I said yes. And I remember one of my mentors at that time, he simply told me, Vasil, if you do exactly on what I will be teaching you on the concept that we do have, you are going to get the results that you do have in life. At that time, since I was really raised, as I said, in a poor environment, actually in the village that I was living in Bulgaria, it had like 500 people in the village itself. It was very small, and what I really started thinking was that I didn't really simply believe on what this man was talking to me. And I said, you know what, I would trust. And that's where everything really started to change from me since then. Um, After a year from that point, I was able to build an international business which produced in 1 month around $250,000 in business, or close to that. And it was really a phenomenal change in my life because for a guy that has always seen in a month around $700 to achieve something really outside or extraordinary, that's one of my beloved mentors, Bob Proctor, has always told us or told me, and especially the group that we were on at that time, set goals that you don't believe that you can achieve. And that's exactly what I did. I set goals that I didn't believe that it could happen. But with the right environment, with the right people really supporting you, and really everything really started to see different. Right now, having different businesses across the globe alongside with this, and having really the chance as well to have multiple streams of income, because in what um, we do help people as well to create that. So that's kind of my background, and I guess where I am today. And I hope that for whoever is really listening to this, that it could really get inspired from my story and maybe um, keep going until you see that it can happen for you as well.
Yeah, thank you, Vasil, very much for sharing your story. Yes, you did such an amazing job within just few years, starting from 21 and now it is 24. Just 3 years, your life changed so much. So, if we
Yes,
speak about,
so I pretty much quit my job as a bartender when I began in 2021. After 4 or 5 months, I quit my job and I dedicated my time and effort to being a full time entrepreneur from there. I really missed to say that. Yeah.
great. So, what changed in your mindset? So, what the significant change you did, how you looked at yourself, how you looked at opportunities, how you were making decisions? What was the significant change that happened that you started to see that you becoming a different person?
hmm Well, simply, I pretty much started really when I really went in different events that I was really invited to, for example, in Dubai or Mexico. I really started creating really a different self-image for me. For example, be the best dressed in the room. I really always wanted to look the best, even if I didn't really had the money at that time to really, you know, dressed the best, right? So the self-image, the way that I really looked at myself, that really simply a lot changed because of the environment that I was really around with. When you see people and when you're really surrounded by, let's say, six or seven figure earners, you just become it. And I was even simply talking to one of my friends today, and I really simply told him, like, even if you are really in an environment that they are constantly winning every single day, even if you lose, it wouldn't even feel that you are actually losing because everybody around you is winning, right? So this is one of the main things that I really want to emphasize. We do become who we hang around with. If you are the smartest person of the room of five friends that you do have, and you hang around always with them, well, guess what? You're going to become of them. If they complain about money, if they are unconfident, if they constantly speak about depth, well, that's what your ears can hear each and every day, and that's what you become, right? So it's extremely important who is around you and if they are helping you to move farther ahead. And that's one of the really key components about the mindset, right? Who do you listen to on a daily basis and who you are around yourself? That really helped me in a major way.
Yes, thank you. Self image sets the boundaries of individual achievements. Yes,
Exactly.
so how it happened that you started seeing yourself as different person? What else helped you to change that self image and start seeing yourself at the place where you want to be and started making decisions from the place where already your dreams existed in a different frequency, not from the place where you were?
I believe that making decisions is really a topic that most people they don't really even understand. As Napoleon Hill said, from 25,000 people, really from a research that he has made along the years, only 500 they really can make a decision, and that was really a topic that for me, if I was not able to risk and really move farther ahead and make a decision towards the life that I really wanted, I probably could still have been a bartender. Why? Because if there is no risk, there is no reward. And if you are really willing to tolerate the same old life that you are living maybe today and you're not risking anything, well, that's why nothing is changing. So, really moving to the person that I became, it was because I was willing to be uncomfortable. There are many steps in my journey that it were so scary, and guess what? I really stepped forward out of my comfort zone, and I continue going until it made sense. One of my favorite quotes as well is, I truly believe it was, when you're really in the dark in the cave and when you see the light, that's where you're going, right? But you cannot see much forward ahead, but you see the light. Well, that's exactly what I did. I focused on the light, not on the darkness where my feet were. So it's just making the decisions, like the person that you already want to become, instead of looking at yourself right now and in the mirror and saying, well, I cannot really do these things, right? The self-worthiness as well, plays a role in this.
Yes, it is so important to make decisions from the place where you want to be, as you said, from that place where the light is already. Yes, that
Yeah.
the where you see the and it is always not easy because we have those paradigms which always our mind brain want to protect us and always keep us safe. Yes, and
Hmm.
all the new achievements, all the new things which we dream about, all our big goals, they are outside of that comfort zone. That's why it is very important to have that mindset that we always have to stretch ourselves and make the habit to feel comfortable doing things which are totally uncomfortable.
Hmm. Correct. Yeah, correct. I would say that to add on to this, just that's why that's why most people really stay where they are, because they are not willing to take the risk. And if you are really listening to this, I would really encourage you to take the business maybe that you want to have, maybe take the decision to create something different, right? Because that's the power that you have inside. Remember, decision is really a single mental move that can change your life. And that's what it really did for me. One single decision led to another, right? One step further led to another, and until I found myself back 1 or 2 years back. Oh, okay, that's what I did. Why? Because I simply had a tunnel vision and only was stretching myself over there. I was not looking back to see, um, maybe, because when we really often look back in the past, that's where worry, doubt, um, maybe rethink a situation, um, that's where negativity comes. And that's as well when people are really given an opportunity. An opportunity is really a simple idea that may come through a person, maybe come through a newspaper, maybe come through multiple different things. That's how God or the universe sends you the opportunities, but you need to be aware of them. Like Napoleon Hill said, opportunities come from the back door, and you don't often know or recognize them, right? So you need to become aware as well on how you can take advantage of that, right? Because we do often ask, like, I wish that God can really, or the universe can really provide me an opportunity on how I can really earn 20,000. And you know what? The universe actually provides you so fast that maybe it could be even tomorrow, but you don't recognize it because maybe the opportunity was in the mailbox and you haven't opened your mailbox in 2 years,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, yes, so true, to be open for opportunities and jump in when it comes. Yes, and this is
Mm-hmm,
how also intuition is very important, because it is like guidance, intuition, like voice from our higher self, yes, from our future self, that always guides you right way. And if people develop this intuition, this high mental faculty, and mostly start using it instead of just being in a head all time and think what logically or what was possible for me in the past and why it isn't possible in the future. Yes, so if we go to head, it always will find the reasons why we cannot do something, because
mm-hmm,
our brain contains just the facts from the past, our failures and what we did in past, and it cannot know what is possible for us in the future. When intuition comes from the future, from that already higher self that is already there, right? Because in future we have unlimited versions of ourselves, and depending on what we do today, what decisions we make today, we choose that higher self of our, or not even higher self. Yes, there will be so many different options. Yes, so if we make decisions coming from intuition and going to that light place and trust in the universe, looking for mentors, looking for people who already are there, to surround ourselves, to learn from them, to take actions which are feel uncomfortable. That is how we create that our future self, which is
mm-hmm,
successful.
mm-hmm. Absolutely agree. And you said one key thing that I really want to emphasize, even for the people that are really listening. And if they're wondering, okay, if I'm brand new right now and I don't know maybe where I can start, well, Elena just really said it really right. Find the person that has already achieved what you want in life, and just go to them and ask them simple questions like, how did you got there? How can I create the same? and just simply they will probably most likely tell you, if they are, self-aware as well, that you need to follow what they teach you, or what they will tell you to do, and this is the exact first step for you to make a decision and do that, right? Because that's what exactly happened to me, and I'm pretty sure that for Ina happened the same, right? So we found the person that had the results that we wanted in our life, and we just simply copy and paste from there. It's really not a myth or a legend, or it's really not a scientific thing. It's success is not hard. It's simple if you follow quite a few steps that can get you to that point.
Yes, success is not just doing certain things, but doing things in a certain way, right? So when you find people who already know that recipe, yes, because I just say that success is just a recipe, as you said, it is not just um, for somebody, like reserved for some special people. It is just a recipe. It is like baking a cake. You can learn that recipe, get all those ingredients, put them in the order, and you will get the cake, right? So those ingredients exactly is mindset. Yeah, because 90% of success is mindset. If the person believes in himself, that he can do it, it means that he will be open for opportunities and he will start doing things. If the person doesn't believe in himself, if he has a low self esteem, he will not even try, because he even will not believe that it is possible for him, that he can do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same as habits. If people have poor habits that don't bring them to any development, anything new, if they don't eat well, they will not have great energy in their body. Yeah, so all these ingredients that comes to mindset, if people learn and surround themselves with people who are already successful, find good mentors, find step-by-step process, everyone can be successful.
Mm-hmm. Habits really, as you said, is really everything. Because what really the average person really does is they really spend their time wasting um, really the most valuable asset, which is really their time. They work from 9 to 5, and most people really say, well, I don't really have enough of time for me to develop maybe my own business or maybe a side hustle that can actually earn me more money. But what they don't realize is they do have the time, and they just spend it poorly. They just waste it. From 9 to 5, they work, they come back home, and they just pull out the Netflix or maybe play video games on different things. But what they don't realize is that the video games or need the Netflix is going to get them to the dream that they have set themselves, that they want to achieve. That's why the New Year's resolutions are always going to be there, because people set goals and there is really no commitment beside that, right? There is no commitment, and it's just habits is, if you really take a person that is really rich or poor, and we're really talking about not really the, I would say, the physical, more about the mental thing when we're really talking about rich or poor, it's just their habits. That's simply it. And that's what a person really needs to be care of, became aware of. What is that I'm really doing every single day with my time? Am I investing it into the right activities that will take me somewhere, or maybe learning a new skill, or maybe earning money from my phone? Even in 2024, it's so easy for you to earn an income from your phone. Are you learning it though? Are you taking advantage of the AI or different things, right? So habits is really a huge topic that we can do certainly really talk about it really a huge amount of time.
Yes, and interesting that habits is part of those paradigms that people are not even aware. Like they do many things automatically without being aware, and day passes after day and they get nowhere. Yeah, so it is again comes to mindset to become aware of what I do on daily basis, what my results produce in actions, and how I can do more things which really produce me results and take me to my goal instead of just losing time. And I heard recently statistics that if we are lucky to live till 80, we live just 4,000 weeks. So it is so small number, 4,000 weeks, and it is when we are 80. So what when till we are 60, right? So it
Yeah,
is much less. So you are
it
such a
really is.
great example. Yes, you're such a great example of a boy from Bulgaria coming from country where you just work all day long, making $700, and just within a year or two, you totally change your life, and now you're helping other people. So amazing. And thank you so much for being a wonderful guest on our podcast and sharing your story and your knowledge. So, before we end this episode, what would be one advice that you would like to share with people who are listening to us?
Oh, I would say that we really shared great things really for the audience that they can actually take advantage on and really maybe start implementing right away. We shared many things. I would say that really my advice for anybody that is maybe looking to improve their current situation, or maybe earn more money, maybe be really in a better financial situation, just really whatever. I would just simply advise them to, as I said even before, find the person that has the success that you already want in your life. Maybe that could be traveling all around the world. Okay, so in this case, you just really want to find somebody that has already traveled all around the world. Remember, even if you are a chef, right, or maybe wanting to become one, so what you do for you to become the best chef? Well, you go to the best one, or maybe one of the best, and you just simply go out there and maybe you ask them a proposal of, hey, can I work in your restaurant so I can learn from you? Maybe I could just be a cleaner in the restaurants, but you could be looking on what they're cooking and how they're doing it. Well, here is the same exact thing for success. If you could be around wealthy people, if you could be around in an environment that is already maybe earning the type of money that you want, you just need to be around it and learn the simple steps or the habits or of a successful person. So find a person that has already what you want and go after them and really in a good way, and just really simply follow what they tell you to do.
Yeah, thank you so much. And for people who might think that, oh, I'm living in a small town and where can I get these successful people who want to speak to me? There are so many other options. You can reach out to them online. You can become part of community of successful people. You can listen books. You can listen audios. So many ways to get your mind set to that right direction. And when you start thinking big, setting big goals, even if you don't know how to achieve them, but just thinking about it, just as you said, think into that direction of the light. Yes, thinking of that direction of a bigger picture, because everything is possible if you allow yourself to see that big picture. And of course, welcome to listen our future episodes in our podcast, because our mission is to help you and to help more people to live abundant life and create that millionaire mindset. Thank you very much, Vasil, for being amazing guest and sharing your story. And I'm looking forward to see you again.
Thank you for inviting me.